StartupBus, you get on a bus with people that you don't really know, pitch your idea in front of the bus, and then over the next 3 days you need to build a product that people can actually use and that you can demo. What we're building is an international community of entrepreneurs.
Every person that is participating is going to be issued a certain amount of money. You're going to have to spend the money on the team that you want. Whose sick, twisted idea was it to make people turn on each other? It was my idea.
This is my hometown.
Where you going?
Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
Whether I go with y'all or not, I just hope y'all have a real good life.
All right, it was a yes. Woohoo! Welcome aboard. Remember that each team needs $50. You have 5 minutes.
I mean, we were driving into New Orleans, everyone's, doing their code, doing their thing, working hard, and all of a sudden, Ray comes on the PA system, starts distributing Post-it cards and says, all right, these are all $10, and you're all gonna come and pitch, and whoever doesn't get $50 from the bus combined is getting kicked off the bus. We barely made it. We scraped by with, I think, 52. And we were nice enough, since people helped us out, we gave our extra 2 away. It was interesting with our team. We had 3 business development and 1 developer. Most teams are 1 business development, 1 developer, 1 designer. So I think it turned out really well in that it's mostly negotiation. It's going out and selling yourself. So I think our team did pretty well with it, just because we have a lot of experience with sales and things like that. Whereas some of the teams that are all developers, I think they had a harder time with it, but it turned out well for us.
I hear that Ray Land, who is our conductor, who is a little bit of a nutcase, is planning on taking us to New Orleans. I know some of the people on this bus, that's why it's the alumni bus. I'm concerned that we might be in New Orleans, and New Orleans is a place of concern in general. It's one of those places that bad things happen to good people for alcohol-related reasons.
You've been on your own, working on your product, collaborating with your team. You now suddenly meet everyone else and you realize you're not the only team here. You're competing against like dozens of people, and we had 150 people.
Oh, my people. So freeze, pause, and enjoy. I can see why you need the instructions for enjoy.
Welcome to New Orleans. We are really happy to see you guys. It's so cool to get a lot of Busprenuers all together in one event, and this is that event. It's super exciting.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Cool, man. Well, actually, I had not even planned to come to New Orleans at all, but it was in the general direction of heading south. The bus driver said something like, well, would you want to go with us or something? And I was just headed to southern Alabama, northern Florida, to get some work and to see a friend, and to apologize to that friend and try to share some things. I just prayed that what God wanted would happen. I'm trying to get my life straight with the Lord right now. That's kind of another thing that this journey's about. So
When we got to New Orleans, everyone was put in a hostel that was a former asylum, and people were put on beds that were like collapsing and cockroaches running around with no blankets. We don't intentionally try to traumatize people, but they get really traumatized. Most people on StartupBus get a bit delirious.
We're doing pretty good, mostly because we skipped Bourbon Street last night, and we went right to the hotel room, got back to working, started implementing the design for our website, started implementing more of the functionality that we're going to need not only for our demo, but to actually launch the product. We were up as a team until about 3 a.m., taking advantage of reliable power, reliable internet, places where laptops don't fly off every other second, so we got a lot of really productive work done. The real winning strategy is not to take any breaks and only sleep a couple hours a night and to work all the time anyways.
It's Rayland out here at the New Orleans French Quarter Market at the Café du Monde, and we're just trying some beignets today. This beautiful French treat started here at the Café du Monde, and basically it was just a small coffee stand, and now it's a worldwide known, world famous establishment. We're out here today, and they're powdered sugar covered fritters, and they are so good. They are so good.
That's the first thing Mark told us, like, that place is so haunted. We're like, haunted? He's like, yeah, let me tell you about it. 1891, he says, 97 nuns apparently were like massacred. And here we are
in New Orleans.
Yeah, apparently.
Clearly.
I feel like this whole thing.
It was like all set up. Like, it was all set up for us to die.
That's just huge.
Just the hamster, no description, it's what's for lunch. And on the back say, powered by StartupBus and Pop Top.
We take advantage of the fun time.
Watch the marker. Guys, never try that at home. Okay, that's first. It's just advice for you guys. But if you do have a marker and you don't want to put it up your nose, what you want to do is you want to take it, get yourself some good static electricity rocking on there. See what I'm saying? So good static, good static. Lay it down on a table. Move your hands away. Magical gestures, magical gestures, magical gestures. That's how you make a Sharpie levitate.
Being an entrepreneur is not just about being passionate about your ideas, but also knowing when to sit back and take somebody else's feedback, somebody else's experience and expertise on board. If you're so in love with your idea that you can't possibly sacrifice the things that need to be sacrificed when they need to be sacrificed, that you can't pivot as soon as you realize that there's research that backs something up that's against your initial claim, you just shouldn't be in the industry. It's quite good to see the output of the bus. It's good to see what people actually become after the bus, because it's a really sobering experience for many people. When we first got on the bus and the first initial ideas were pitched, Skill Me Up, I really liked those guys' concept, and I think if there's any value that I could possibly provide, I'd be very, very happy to join those guys.
I'd say the main concern with my team right now, we only have one developer. You know, we have no designer, so we kind of have to rely on the outsourcers to come up with our brand image after we leave New Orleans. So we're going to San Antonio. We're doing some sort of pitch competition there, and that should be a little bit more serious.
When you don't sleep, and I'm sure anyone can relate to this, like you just get delirious after a certain period of time. There's a lot of funny things that happen.
Deep in the road. Deep in the road instead of deep in the code is a different scenario, but it's very productive, and especially late at night, early mornings, long distance driving, you will reach a level of thinking, a level of thought, a level of connections in your mind, business ideas, solutions to problems, long prayer. That's what you do when you drive. When I was about 21 to 23 years old, I drove a lot of sororities and fraternities because that was just, well, it was a way to make money, and it was something to do. Well, they're very they like to party. And this area, this front stairwell turns into a nightclub.
I'm enjoying myself because my boss is driving for me. He gonna pay me to drive for him to drive for me.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought
There's something I get a chance to sit here and look like this.
Yes.
It feels good though. I need to tell you a joke. Some jokes are jokes, and then some jokes are just jokes. And this is a joke. There was these 3 guys. They wind up going to heaven some kind of way. And they seen people driving cars, riding bicycles, and then they seen a sign over across the trees that says Transportation Department. So one of the guys said, well, let's go over there and see, because we need some transportation. So they walked up to the guy and said, what do we need to do to get transportation up in heaven? He said, well, the transportation is based on your marriage. He said, if you was married and faithful, you get to ride in the best car we got. If you wasn't so faithful, then you get the smallest thing. So the first guy said, well, I was married 3 years and I was faithful about a month. He said, oh man, that's bad. So he gave him a Yugo. The other guy said, I was married 5 years and I was faithful half of those 5 years. He said, well, that's kind of good, so I give you 100. The last guy said, well, I was married for 25 years and I was faithful for 25 years. So he said, well, you get the top of the line. You can get the Bentley, you can get the Mercedes. He said, I want to get the Bentley. So he gave him a Bentley and drove on off. The guy in the Yugo and the guy in the Honda was riding by and looked up at him, and he was up there on the hill just beating on the top of his hood and kicking the tires. They said, well, I wonder why he doing that. He got the best car. He was faithful for 25 years. He said, let's go see what he wants. So the guy in the Yugo said, they drove on up there. They went on up there and they got to the guy and he was just kicking the tires and hitting the hood. He said, sir, why are you beating your car like that? You got the best car, your marriage was good for 25 years, and we got these Yugo and Honda, and you up here kicking your car and kicking the tire? He said, that ain't it. He said, I just saw my wife in roller skates. So she was not faithful at all.
You just look like a tough biker.
You don't look tough at all.
Look, it's got a flaming skull on
The
it.
beer, a little bit, but only because it's like leads to malpractice in your dental practice.
I'm a dentist who is going to be taking a taste of his own nitrous.
A lot of the people on the bus started getting a bit antsy. I call StartupBus a people foundry, where you step on a bus and then you step off with more value. And we've actually seen really well thought out ideas because the Ray put them through a really grueling process.
What can I tell you?
Well, just explain to me what your pitch is and
So, all right,
the concept of making money.
We're building Nomscription. It's a subscription lunch service. So what we do is you sign up for Nomscription, and every day at around 11 o'clock, we'll send you a little notification on your phone saying, hey, we're going to send you pad thai to your office at noon today. And if that sounds good to you, then you just leave it and food will show up at your office. If you don't like pad thai, or if you want it to show up at 1 o'clock, maybe you want it to go to the maintenance building, then you click on it. You can change the time, the food, the delivery place, and over time we build a taste profile for you, so we know that you like Thai food but not Chinese food. You like salad but you don't like steak. Maybe you're wheat free. Maybe you're vegetarian. Maybe you don't eat green vegetables. And we learn over time what you like and what you don't like, so we can tailor that food that we're delivering to you.
It sounds like a good plan, and I would buy it. Yes, I would.
Thank you, James.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Stewart, my name is James, and I want to learn more about your concept and your pitch.
All right, well, the concept is called Yank. And so if you're running, you're out, it's late night, maybe you decide to go for a run, and you're listening to your music, and somebody comes up behind you and maybe hits you or something. One of the easiest things you could do is, if you have your headphones plugged in, is just yank the headphones out of your phone, and then an alert is sent. What you would do is you would open the app and you would arm the app. You're saying, I'm going out for a run, I'm in an area, I just want to be able to pull the cord and know that somebody's going to know your emergency contact. They're going to get a text message, an email that's going to say, where this occurred. It's going to get geolocated. So like they're going to get a map of where you are, and it's going to say, James has sent a distress signal and might be in trouble. You know, we suggest calling James to make sure that he's okay.
That sounds like a good. Yes, I love that, and I think, you know, to help out, you know, people that like to walk by themselves.
Yes.
If I wanted to download it, would it be simple? Would it be a simple process?
So what you would do is you would go to the app icon on your phone and you would type in our name, Yank,
Okay.
Y-A-A-N-K.
Okay.
And we'll be the first one there. You click download, and then it's on your phone.
And I'm going to look for Yank.
You're going to look for Yank.
I'm going to look for Yank.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, James.
Thank you. All right. Hello. How are you?
What's up, James?
Oh, good. I just want to sit here and talk with you about you.
RepCheck is all about businesses that grant credit lines to other businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you're a bus company and you've got another company that wants to charter some buses from you, they don't want to pay cash up front. They want you to send them an invoice for it after it's all over. That's the way my business does business, right? We manufacture industrial equipment, and our customers will place an order, and then we'll send them an invoice, and then sometime within 30 days, they'll write us a check and mail it to us. That whole process of doing business that way, there's a lot of risk involved. What people do to kind of reduce that risk is they send out a credit application to the business that they're getting ready to let operate. The way they send those credit applications out is by a fax machine. And then the business on the other end will fill it out with a pen and then fax it back to the company. So what we want to do is streamline that process. A internet-based solution that's going to allow people to fill out a web form to do their credit application. Good talking to you, James.
Okay, good talking. Thank you.
Say you're a motor coach driver, and say you wanted to move up to Ray's position as a motor coach tycoon. What our website would allow you to do, figure out what's your dream job. In this case, motor coach tycoon, like Ray.
Yeah.
So what it would do is basically show you all of Ray's skills that he requires for his job as a motor coach tycoon, and compare them to your skill set as a motor coach operator, and try to show you where the gap exists and let you visualize that gap, and give you the tools to fill that gap of knowledge, so you can quickly and efficiently identify the steps you need to take to move into your dream position.
I hope you all come out on top. If I can help you, I will purchase some of this.
It's actually a free service. So we actually make money on the other side from the courses that we recommend you take. We actually make money from a few of those. We're partnered with those companies. It's universities, online courses, things like that. So it's free for you.
Sound good.
Yeah,
all right.
definitely.
Thank you again.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
I'm enjoying this job for one thing. Well, people from all different states and from all over, and then you get together, and I enjoy the working together, and you getting into groups, and I don't know much about apps and all that kind of stuff, but I like to see it working because it's working.
We're presenting this to James. Thank you so much.
I just enjoy the groups because the groups are so nice to you and it make you feel good. Now that's a serious note. I feel like I'm on top of the world.
Thank you. We're presenting it to him. Okay?
It's challenging doing StartupBus. To build a product in a few days is a hard thing. To do it on a bus with sketchy Wi-Fi is almost impossible. It requires a lot of trade-offs, and they're working towards arriving in San Antonio, where they will be assessed, and there'll be a semi-final, and then a grand final, and then a further final that happens in Austin.
Next time on StartupBus.
A little cranky. I'll be better when I have some breakfast.
Hey, do you think we can get him to do the Harlem Shake on board? All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome aboard. We're glad to have you today.
I feel like a superstar running into this like huge venue. It's overwhelming for some people because it's like, cool.
We are at the Rackspace facility, which I believe used to be a shopping mall.
I'm sure all of you have experienced this thing called a time crunch, where you just don't have time to think about food.
Nobody has ever done this in the history of any pitch competition ever.
How are you going to monetize it? Do you have a business model here that's...
How we're going to monetize it?
Yeah.
So we tried.
Thank you so much to Team Nomscription. We appreciate that.